So how to choose where to start with crystals? There are several levels, and in Colourpuncture we operate on a level called endocrine disbalance, functional disbalance, presented as autonomic nervous system disbalance, but the underlying reason is endocrine imbalance or endocrine deficiency. Then we have toxic level, which is level of acute reactions, or at level of chronic, maybe subthreshold inflammation, any of this. And then we have a degenerative level, which is level of stagnation, massive energy stagnations. And yes, this is the end development of the disease. So there already could be disease labels, there could be degenerative changes in the tissue and so on. But the focus of degenerative is basically massive energy stagnation, which is not resolved by any other means. And this is internalized conflict of some kind. So there probably was some conflict initially, and then this conflict made a nest in the body, so to speak, and then at some point it could have converted itself into something different. So when we are talking about crystals, and we talked about polarity crystals, once again, they are yin and yang crystals. They work on a level of qi itself, two parts of qi, yin and yang. And on a level of the body also, don't forget that this is sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So when we are talking about endocrine responses, when we are talking about this level of functioning, then those are obvious first step. Then we talked about element crystals, and element crystals are good when there is already some organ system involved and we can zoom in on the element, but also they balance out the elements. There are several fantastic treatments in Colourpuncture, which I think we all need to have from time to time just to balance the energy, such as, for example, this 4 temperaments treatment on the back with soul spirit crystal, or the birth rhythms, because it will help to approach any change situation from a different angle, and it will give you freedom not to be locked into this birth pattern. And from metamorphic technique, obviously, you know how important it is, because the way we are born is the way we react in a new situation. The way we are born is the way we react when we are out of our resource, when we are stressed, when we are tired, late at night, first thing in the morning. This is how we react. When we first come into the room full of strangers, those are all our inbuilt reactions on the level of prenatal space. From this perspective, whether or not you have presenting symptoms, or whether or not you had actual problem at birth, I think this treatment of birth rhythms with soul spirit crystals is great for this type of situation. It just gives you freedom to approach any new situation or stressful situation or situation when you lack resources very differently. So those crystals that work on the level of the body, and activated crystal I talk about work on a level of subconscious. How to choose where to start when we have several levels. So for example, we have some psychological imbalance, we have some probably internal conflicts, we have some emotions, we have some inflammation, we have some pains. When there is a mixture situation we are talking about, there are some urinary problems. So there is something from a physical side as well. And the general rule is if there are already manifest physical changes, or if there is pain, or there is inflammation of any kind, there is any kind of acute reaction, then we attend to this first. Situation when person is very anxious and work used to be safety valve for energy release, and it isn't anymore, and it can't go on forever because of age and because of many other things. Then basically we are presented with several levels of a problem. As a general rule, we start at the level of the body. If there is something already manifested in the body, we need to help this first, and then we can start very carefully knocking at the door of our unconscious and exploring what is there. Also, don't forget, the older we get, the more we need to start by helping the body. I would say there is one exception, and this one exception is the example I gave previously. When you feel so low on energy, and it's not physical energy, it's something else. It's like your very vitality is threatened. Then you might need activator first, because activator will give you this connection to something much bigger than yourself. You can tap into this energy which you're lacking. And we are talking about situation with severe energy depletion of whatever origin.